In this video I want to show you your very first steps on guitar. The thing about learning the guitar is that it's supposed to make fun. And as I started out, I had teachers which tried to show me theory and stuff with it, and I was not really interested in that. I just wanted to make music, and this was my desire. And after a while, I figured out the first chords and stuff, and then I taught kind of like myself. And this is what I want to give you in this lesson. The inspiration, the power to stay with it for a while, because the first steps can be a little bit frustrating because you do something with your body, with your hands you've never probably done before. But I can assure you, it's so much fun and it's so worth the time investing, especially in the beginning. If you just focus on some things, you will be able to get so cool sounds out of your guitar. Before we start out, you must bring your guitar in tune, because no matter how good you can grab a chord or how good you can strum or pick a string, it will always sound horrible if your guitar is not in tune. And how do you get your guitar in tune? I have another video for that if you have no clue how to do that. Take a look in the video description. I've put the link of this video in there if you have trouble with tuning your guitar. That's the video for you. Before you start with this video and before you play chords and try to make music. The thing is, I teach guitar now for about 20 years now. I started out when I studied guitar. When I got into teaching, I saw so many different students, and the thing what I will show you in this video is kind of like the essence of guitar teaching that I developed over those 20 years. And this is a good way to start out, and I can assure you, you will make music in an instant. As I said before, it might be a little bit frustrating in the beginning when it won't work out immediately, but don't be too hard on yourself, because to me, and what I witnessed with all those hundreds, thousands of students I had, it's not about talent in the very beginning. Of course, there are people that get along faster with certain things, but I think if you take kind of like, because people try to or tend to ask me, Hannes, how much time do I need to invest in the beginning to find out if it's something for me, if I'm talented enough or whatever, I always say, come on, this is something everybody can do. Give yourself like 2 months and try to practice like at least 5 minutes a day. Of course, have a cheat day, have an off day. But I think it's important in the beginning to be consistent. 4 or 5 times a week for 5 minutes each day, and you will make huge progress. I can promise you that. So don't be too hard on yourself when it won't work out after a day or 2 or 3. It will come. Give yourself time and then decide after that if it's something for you or not. When you were really true to yourself and said, okay, I really tried and it didn't work, it's not fun for me. Okay, I'm sorry for you then, but I'm so sure that you will have fun and that you will have a lot of music going on. We talked about tuning, we talked about motivation and practice. And also don't be afraid if it might hurt in your fingertips. Give yourself a rest, go on practicing the next day. You're allowed, of course, to practice like an hour or whatever a day if you have fun with that. Go for it. Just listen to your body when something hurts. Just take a look, am I doing it right? Or do I do something wrong? Maybe you push too hard, whatever. Just take your time. This is really important. And the cool thing about this exercise is we just need 2 fingers for both chords. What is a chord? Okay, I want to explain you a little bit what's going on here with your guitar, how the different parts are called when I'm talking about frets and whatever, so you know what's going on and what you're supposed to do. So we have our tuning heads. Here are those tiny little things where you can tune your guitar, the strings obviously. Then we have the body, which is the top, the back. This is the neck. Of course, this is the fretboard, where the frets are. Those metal things here, those frets are really important, because when I talk about chords and stuff, which I'm about to do in a minute, and I say put your first finger into the second fret. That does not mean put your index finger on the second fret, but right next to it, into this field here, which is marked by those frets. So when I say place your finger on the first fret, for example, on the A string, which is this string here, over here, the fifth from below, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. First fret, A string, place your finger here. Second fret is meant to be here. Third fret, fourth fret, and so on. And also make sure not to put, as I said before, your finger on the fret, but right next to it. Not on the other side of the field. You know, when I say second fret, place your finger here, not here. Because there, it's way easier to create a note. Take a listen. This is easy. And then use the same pressure now there. This happens. And this can be a massive problem for beginners, because they say, hey, I'm grabbing in the right fret, why doesn't it sound good? And this might be a reason. So let's go for the first chord now. This is E minor, your very first chord, one of the most famous chords on guitar. It's used by bands like Metallica, for example. This is the first chord of Nothing Else Matters, the first chord of Wonderwall by Oasis, the first chord of Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd, for example. So many songs use this chord. So it's E minor, and you need your index finger in the second fret of the A string, which is the fifth string when you count from below. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you need your middle finger right behind on the fourth string when you count from below. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the second fret on the D string. So this is the A string and the D string. You should have a pick. I mean, if you don't stop the video. Take your thumb to strum the strings, but take your pick. If you have one, place it between your thumb and your index finger, just like this. Okay? It's kind of like lying on the thumb, and the index finger pushes it with the side of the index finger. And so it holds between your fingers, and your thumb and your finger. And then you try to strum all 6 strings. Try to keep your fingers in this position, kind of like an upright position. The thumb is on the other side of the neck, not there, not there, not there, whatever. I don't know. Saw a lot of wrong thumbs in my teacher career. So keep it like this, and don't lay the fingers on the fretboard, but put them like this. So you have counter pressure between thumb and fingertips, okay? And then you try to play all 6 strings, just strum down with your pick, as I said before, between thumb and index finger. Ah, nice. So you might think now, wow, I need a lot of pressure there, and it still sounds like shh. This is the first time you should check all the strings individually. So play the open E string, the one that's closest to you, then the next one, the A string, the D string, the G string, the B string, and then the second, another E string. So you already learned all the strings. It's E, A, D, G, B, and E. Now this might sound, when you play it, like this. This is probably then the case when you don't build up enough pressure, or when your fingers are not in an upright enough position. So try to focus only on the 2 strings you have fingers on, and try to check what's going on there. Might be something like this, and you need a little bit more pressure in your index finger. Then the other string, the D string. I'm just playing the strings where I'm grabbing, you know? Just focus on those 2 notes. And then something else might happen. The back of your middle finger might block the open string which is behind it. So something like this happens. Then you need to raise your finger, so the string has enough space to ring. So then you play all 6 strings one after each other. And then make a break. Shake your hand, open it, close it really fast. This also helps a little bit to warm up your hand a little bit if you're new to this, and you probably build up too much pressure in the beginning. When this works, try to play a little pattern, which I will show you. Just strum downwards. Just about somewhere over the sound hole. You might realize this sounds a little bit thinner here, but here it becomes warmer. I'm playing somewhere over the middle of the sound hole. And then you play down, just down strokes. And then you play down and up strokes. You don't have to hit all the strings when you play the up strokes, all the down strokes. So don't do it like this. The important thing is the rhythmical aspect there. Like when I'm playing down strokes, I kind of like hit all the strings. When I do an up stroke, I think I just hit 4 strings or something. I don't need to hit also the low strings. That's not that important. So just try to be as smooth and easy as possible. Don't push too hard the chord, or don't hold your pick too hard like a stiff underarm. Now we can play a little pattern. It's a combination of down strokes and up strokes. It's 2 times down, 2 times up, and then down, up. Down, down, up, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, up. And now I promised you to another chord, and you only have to put your fingers on the 2 middle strings, on the D and the G string in the 2nd fret. So 3rd string and 4th string. You always count from below. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Both strings in the middle in the 2nd fret. Don't push on the fret, just as close as possible, and be sure you don't block any strings which are right next to the fingers by accident. And do the same thing, but don't play the very low string, the low E string. Don't play that. Only 5 strings. Again, our picking or strumming pattern. Down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, up. And then you try to make a dry exercise by just changing between those 2 chords. It's E minor and Asus2. 2 beautiful chords. Only focus on your grabbing hand. Just change between those 2 chords. So you get comfortable with your fingers building up pressure, releasing the pressure, moving somewhere else, and building up pressure and releasing it again. When you've done that, you do something like this. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Only 1 strum per chord. 2, 3, 4. And make sure you know where your fingers need to go. This is really important. If you have trouble with this, break it down and do a dry exercise. And then you really focus on strumming. Is everything there? Are your fingers pushing in the right ways, your thumb in the right position, and so on. And then you combine the picking pattern with both chords. So it's down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, 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 Yay! I hope you had a lot of fun in your first guitar lesson here. Don't forget to tune your guitar. And if you're interested in more free lessons, check out the video description. There you will find tons of more cool free lessons that will help you to master the first steps of guitar playing. I would love to see you there in my courses. Take care. Bye.